What's up, wisdom seekers? This is your girl Sage, aka Sage the Urban Witch, and I am on for a collective reading for you guys, okay? Collective, I'm hearing that someone lost a good one trying to turn you, a housewife, into a hoe, okay? So, right off the bat, dear one, before we get into the read, the central theme is that there is someone, dear one, that, they really fumbled you, okay? They really messed up where you're concerned because you are definitely one of a kind. And this person really took you for granted by playing games with you. He didn't step to you correctly, dear one. Now, this could be whether you are a divine feminine or whether you are a divine masculine into the same sex, okay? But this is generally the male, this is a male energy in a male body. And this person, dear one, they're giving off like player vibes here, okay? So this is someone, dear one, that in a nutshell, this person, when they had the opportunity to really step to you correctly and let it be known that he was interested in you and that he wanted to get to know you, spend time with you, get to know who you are at the core, not just superficially, not just, project his image or his desires onto you, but really see you as a person and not just as some, walking, vagina, pretty much. He really jacked up his life because this is the type of person, dear one, where, whomever they link up with, this person will either create chaos in their life or they will create, calm, and they will create, harmony. But this person, they're into the rah-rah, they're into the drama. And they knew from the start, dear one, that you were not this type of person. But rather than, accepting you for face value, they play games with you. I'm hearing cat and mouse games, okay? They play games with you, dear one. They really tried to lower your stock value. They tried to lower you down to the value of like the randoms, the people that they're used to dealing with that really don't, place a lot of value on themselves, on their body, okay? On their character, integrity, on how they represent themselves and who they want to be with, okay? This is like a flashy person. This is like a person, dear one, that pisses in the wind. And they have no future. They don't look to the future. It's all about hedonistic pleasure and things of that nature. Now, they knew that they were not ready for you. They knew that they were not mature enough for you, but they didn't want to let you go. So they constantly try to play these cat and mouse games with you, and they constantly try to lure you into drama. They essentially wanted to have you in terms of your physical aesthetic, but all of your internal qualities and what makes you you. It's like they wanted to strip that out of you and infuse in you, a lower version of yourself that they felt as though would be more to their liking, okay? So, this is a person, dear one, that was literally trying to, I'm hearing build a bitch, okay? And it did not work because, you're not about that life. You're not that type of person, okay? So that's the central message, or in terms of, this person and what his whole entire agenda, was and is concerning you. So now we're going to get into a little bit more into, who are you, dear one, okay? Who is this person, okay? A little bit more information about this person that is very much so giving player vibes, okay? This person could also be in the industry, or if not in the industry, they could be, on a public platform. They could be seen and known by their local community, or, a lot of people know them. I'm just getting like really flashy, charismatic vibes, and I'm also hearing, all that glitters is not gold, okay? So what this person, what this man presented is not really what he is, okay? And then, dear one, we're going to get into a little bit more of the deeper reason in terms of, him seeing you, collective, and knowing that you are not that type of person. You are not the hoe. You are definitely the housewife type of person. Why he continued to try to play games with you, okay, to the point that he ended up losing you, okay? So, no particular order, dear one. We have the card, beautiful card, the number 26, happy, okay. Next card we have is never ending story in reverse, okay. Next card we have is the 10 of Wands. I wanted to say 10 of Swords, but we have the 10 of Wands, okay. Next card we have, dear one, is the Knight of Pentacles, okay. Next card we have, you guys, it's in reverse. Let me read it to you. It says waves, emotions, worry, and fear in reverse. Emotions, worry, and fear. Okay. And then the last, well, not the last card, but then we also have feminine energy. This was in reverse as well. Feminine energy, gentleness, nurturing, and mothering. Gentleness, nurturing, mothering in reverse. Okay. And then we also have the card in reverse, the number 18, offerings. The number 18, offerings. Okay, actually, yeah, this was in reverse. It's in reverse, okay? All right, so first of all, dear one, let's get into the read, okay? So who are you, dear one, that, you know, originally you caught this person's eye in the first place, okay? Well, right off the bat, dear one, you are someone that, you know, I'm hearing happy-go-lucky. You're someone that is very abundant. It's like, you know, you really play on your strengths. So it's like if you're very creative and you're very talented, you focus on those things, okay? You make money off of those things. You get a lot of attention off of those things. And you do those things because it makes you happy. And ultimately you realize that, you know, whatever you're doing is part of your purpose. It's part of your life path. It's something that makes you feel as though, you know, life is worth living. Like you actually have some purpose, shall I say. You actually have some purpose or reason for living, okay? So you're the type of person, dear one, where you definitely see the glass as half full rather than half empty, okay? And you don't have to wait on other people to give you your flowers, dear one, because you'll give them to yourself, okay? Come through, spirit. You know, you're the type of person, you know, where, you know, you will sit yourself on your own pedestal. You will create your own, you know, seat of authority and sit in it rather than, you know, looking to the outside for validation, okay? I'm hearing from spirit, you've never really been that type of person. And because you are who you are, okay, because you dance to the beat of your own drums, okay, you attract abundance to you, okay? Now, because you're also high vibrational, you know, the light attracts the light and the dark, okay? So you attract, you know, butterflies, and you also attract moths, okay? But, you know, this is essentially one of the reasons, dear one, why this person who wanted to turn you, that is housewife material, into a hoe is because, you know, you were something that magnetically instantly attracted, you know, you were attracted by this person, or shall I say, this person was instantly attracted by you, by your essence, by your energy, by your light, by what you have to offer. You know, they saw you as this very beautiful, fluttering, free butterfly, but it was something that they wanted to capture, you know, like trying to capture a butterfly and putting it in a jar, trying to, you know, encage it, you know, being selfish with you. It's like, you know, that energy of I want you all to myself, but they didn't really know who the real true you was, because they were so busy trying to turn you into something that you are not, because they wanted you to be more palatable, more suitable for them. They knew that, you know, you were above them. They knew that, you know, you were out of their league, okay? And so they wanted to constantly drag you down by playing games with you, thinking that you would chase them instead of replacing them, okay? So also, dear one, you know, you're the type of person where, you know, unfortunately, dear one, because of who you are, because of the fact that, you know, you draw a lot of attention to you, you have this aura about you where, you know, people are always watching you. You know, I'm hearing all eyes on you. I'm also hearing, dear one, that you could be like a popular loner or something of the sort. But, you know, this person, you know, or people, you're used to these type of people coming at you, dear one, unfortunately. So this is like a never-ending story. But I'm hearing from spirit, you have, you know, made a vow to yourself that you have structured your life in such a way that, you know, certain, you know, low vibrational, low lighted people can no longer have access to you. And this matters not if it's like, you know, people that want to get to know you on an intimate level, or people that want to be a part of your social circle, or, you know, people that want to collab or work with you, or, you know, people, you know, in your quote unquote family, okay? But, you know, you're the type of person, dear one, where you're like, okay, I'm putting a stop to all of this foolishness, okay? We have the number 37 in reverse. 3 + 7 = 10. It's the end of a cycle. There was someone, dear one, that wanted to continue, you know, playing these games with you after you had made it abundantly clear, whether you had made it abundantly clear verbally or whether you had made it abundantly clear with your actions, that you did not want to be bothered with this person. And yet they continue to try to, you know, project themselves onto you, violate your boundaries, you know, bogart their way into your life, almost like they're trying to force you to recognize you, force you to be with them, okay? And that's a no-go, okay? But unfortunately, you're the type of person where this is like a constant running theme, in your life, unfortunately, dear one, that you have a lot of people that want you that you don't want. And rather than, taking the L and moving on with their raggedy ass life, they're constantly trying to force you. They want to try to punish you. Now they want to make it a power struggle. They want to make it a game, okay? So this person, dear one, it's like they were hell bent on trying to turn a housewife into a hoe for them, okay? And what's really weird, dear one, I'm hearing from spirit is that, this person, dear one, for all intents and purposes, this person is either already married, okay? This dude is already in some type of relationship or relationship, okay? Or this person could also, for some of the energies out there, this male energy could be into open marriage or open relationships, okay? They have a lot of randoms, they have a whole harem, they got, the Jezebels and the Jezebols, because they ain't nothing but a hoe, okay? And they were too busy trying to focus on you and turning you into a hoe rather than dealing with the holes that they already got, okay? So, not only is this, this is a raggedy hoe, but this is a greedy, selfish hoe, because he can't even, focus on the holes that he already got, okay? Now he want to add you to, he want to add you to the roster, so to speak, okay? But, this is something that you're used to, but you have made some changes in your life where you have, put up more of a shield of protection around you, whether that be online, offline, at your workplace, in your life, you're keeping your business to yourself, okay? You're keeping your personal life and your comings and goings to yourself, and you're just moving more in a way where, it's very, very difficult, or it's going to prove to be a challenge for people like this to get close to you, okay? And also, dear one, you're the type of person where, people feel as though just because you have it, that, you have to give it to them, that, they're entitled to your love. Just because you're a loving person, this person that wanted to turn you into a hoe and you're housewife material, they felt as though, okay, well, you're a kind, empathic person, so, I'm entitled to your kindness and your empathy, You're a type of person where, you'll take the shirt off your back to give it to another person because you're so loving and you're so empathic. So, give me your shirt. Matter of fact, just take your shirt off. I don't need it. I just want you to take it off so I can see what you're working with. Okay. So this is the type of person, dear one, they feel as though, whatever beautiful qualities that you have, just because you have it to give, and just because they have seen you in some way, shape, or form give it to other people, where they have seen you demonstrate your kindness, your love, your beautiful essence, your high vibration, things of that nature, they felt as though they were entitled to it, but it's a no-go, okay? You guys are in the season of no longer giving yourself to people that are not into equal reciprocity and equal give and take, okay? If they don't have anything to give to you or offer to you to make your life better, then they have to go, because you're no longer continuing to pour yourself into, an empty vessel and drain yourself and wear yourself out. And then when you need someone to pour into you, nobody is around. All of a sudden now everybody is like, on everybody's, they on egg status, like they don't understand, the difference between, give and receive reciprocity, okay? So yeah, you're no longer doing that, okay? Now, dear one, a little bit more about, this person, because there's always a story behind, a person's actions, behind a person's, negative behaviors, and, how they navigate in the world. Why is it that they do what they do? I'm hearing like, who hurt you? Okay, bruh, who hurt you? Obviously someone, hurt this person. Obviously this person is dealing with a lot of wounds, okay, that they refuse to heal, okay, and rather than heal, they just want to project onto other people. They take their trauma, and rather than heal their trauma, they create a kink out of it and project it onto other people. But essentially, dear one, this dude, dear one, that wanted to turn you into a hoe, okay, you that is housewife material, this is someone, dear one, that carries a lot of burdens, okay? It's like, they don't learn from their mistakes. They do the same shit over and over, and then they expect a different result, which is insanity. But then they'll go a step further and blame everyone that participated in them creating that mistake. They'll blame it on that person and take no accountability for themselves, okay? So this is the type of person, this dude, it's like he walks around with a chip on his shoulder, and he feels as though just because he had a rough life, or he went through this or went through that, that everybody owes him something. And it's like, bruh, get over your fucking self, because who hasn't gone through shit, okay? This is the world that we live in. This is the matrix, okay? There is not one person working on this earth, walking on this earth, that hasn't gone through something, that hasn't gone through a trial, a tribulation, whether it was something that happened because of their own choices or actions, or whether it was something that was projected onto them from the behaviors and actions of other people. So you are not the first one that has had to deal with bullshit and hardships in life, and you're not going to be the last one. So get over yourself, okay? But this person, dear one, they feel as though, when it comes to hardship, when it comes to, wanting people to look at him as a victim, which he uses to his advantage to manipulate people, he feels as though he's the only one that has ever had hardships in life. So this person's a victim. They're a whiner, okay? It is very much giving bussy, because this is the type of person, dear one, where they are definitely a villain, but they'll play victim at the drop of a hat, just so that they can get some type of, one up on someone, so that they can manipulate someone, so that they can get people to feel sorry for them, because they like to use people's emotions to manipulate them, okay? If you're kind, they'll try to flip it and use your kindness against you. They'll take whatever good qualities that you have, dear one, and they'll use it as a weapon against you. So this person is very, very sadistic, but they'll definitely drop, that victim card at the drop of a hat. What they did to me, what she did to me, I'm a player because this happened, I can't love because that happened. It's like, okay, get over it, okay? Go get better help, okay? Better yet, you don't need to be trying to get in somebody's bed when you still need to work on yourself. Instead, you need to be on somebody's couch, okay? Working it out through therapy, instead of trying to hop in somebody's goddamn bed. Okay, come through, spirit. But that's the type of person, dear one, that this person is. I almost said gentleman, but then I had to stop, because this person is definitely not a gentleman, okay? This person that, they lost a good one, dear one. They lost a good one trying to turn a housewife into a hoe, and that is you, okay? You ain't no hoe. You are definitely housewife material, okay? Yeah. But this person, dear one, they like to put their burdens off on other people. They feel as though, the best way for them to have the quality of life that they're looking for is not for them to work hard, because this person is lazy. But they do work hard on scheming. They do work hard on trying to seduce people, trying to trap people, trying to evolve people in their web of deception, okay? Trying to bring people into their whole harem. And the main reason why this person has a lot of people around them is because, number one, they're hedonistic, they're into the pleasure, okay? And then number two, they feel as though, the more people that they have in their orbit or in their harem, the more people that they can rely on to take care of them, okay? So this is the sole reason why this person likes to have a lot of people around them. This is the type of person, dear one, where all of their exes are their friends, okay? They never bring closure, okay? And then before, they end something, they're starting something else. So this person, they're wrapped around drama, and they like it because, number one, they hate to be alone. Number two, they're very codependent. And number three, they're very toxic, okay? They think that fighting and arguing and, scrapping and, triangulation and he said, she said, and this person calling my house at 3 a.m. and then the next day at 12 p.m. somebody busts the windows out of my car. Oh, this is love. Oh, this is exciting. Oh, people want me. This person is sick, okay? But this is the type of person, dear one, this is the type of person that was trying to play these cat and mouse games with you, trying to turn you, dear one, a housewife into a hoe, okay? Also, dear one, this person, when it comes to making decisions, they're very slow, okay? They drag their ass, okay? I'm hearing shit or get off the pot, okay? People have oftentimes had to tell this person this, because this is the type of person, dear one, they'll hem and haw and sit on something so long that that opportunity will pass them by. And this is in business pursuits, financial pursuits, okay? Personal endeavors, okay? And also when it comes to relationships, okay? That's another reason why this person likes a lot of people around him, because they're not mature enough to go one-on-one in an intimate level with a person. They feel too vulnerable, so they like to spread themselves thin, so to speak, and this, in their own way, they feel as though they're maintaining some sense of power where they don't have to fall into being vulnerable to a person and showing intimacy, because they don't know how. Number one, they don't know who they are. They have an identity crisis. And then number two is, like, if people if they let their guard down and they feel as though people got to see who the real them is, that they wouldn't like it. And for the most part, that would be true, because this person has a lot of baggage and they refuse to work on themselves, but they just want to project it onto other people. Okay, well, this is a person, dear one, they act very, very slowly. It takes them all day to do something. And so this is someone, dear one, they'll beat around the bush. Now they'll go all the way around the mountain, dropping hints, or trying to get their homeboy or homegirl to run interference to see if you like them, or going all the way the dramatic route of violating your boundaries, being a Google sleuth, trying to find out information on you, trying to duck go your ass, trying to be a Google sleuth or Google, PI, or whatever the case may be, being a goddamn cyber troll, a cyber roach. Okay, they'll do all of this and all of that, trying to keep tabs on you, trying to figure out who you know, where you work, how much you make, okay, who you with, okay, who your friends are, all the way around. And rather than trying to come to you directly, one-on-one, standing toe-to-toe with you and expressing how they feel about you and, how they want to get to know you. Nah, that's too simple for this person. This person is simple-minded, but he doesn't do things in a simple way. He's very confused, he's very conflicted, he's very convoluted, and he's always trying to hide aspects of himself and wear a mask. But then, he tends to think that everybody else is a liar, everybody else is deceptive, and it's like further projection. Okay, but this is the type of person, dear one, this person was like, nah, you got a price. I see on the outside that you appear to be this, housewife material type of person. But I know that, you got to be a freak just like me. Okay. I know that, you have to, wave your freak flag just like me. I know that, you probably have never been introduced to the lifestyle of hedonism. Okay. And threesomes, foursomes, and moresomes. But, I know that if, I presented the situation or the opportunity to you, right, that you could get with it. This person thinks that just because he's a hoe, that everybody else has, is a hoe too, and it just takes the right hoe to bring it out of them. Okay, this person is weird. Okay, but again, they won't approach you directly, but they'll go all the way around. I'm here, ring around the rosy. They'll go all the way around the bush. Run interference. Okay, find out this on that. Okay, keep tabs on her, watch her, do this, do that. Okay, they'll even gang stalk. They'll even try to get someone that they know, if they find out where you live, to get an apartment in your same apartment complex. Okay, rent in your same neighborhood where you are a homeowner, where you are living in a condo or living in a townhome or living in a home. This is the lengths that this person will go through, because they're really bussy. Okay, they're a fucking coward. But then it's like, at the same time, they don't know how to just leave you be and accept no for an answer, to just accept the L. Okay, so this person's, it's like they waste so much time, they waste so much energy. For some of them, I'm hearing from spirit, they waste so much money, trying to infiltrate and encroach upon your life and your boundaries, because they don't know how to open up their goddamn mouth and say something. And they know that you would shoot them down because you're not a part of what they're a part of. You're not, you don't agree with their lifestyle and how they live. Okay, there's nothing that this person can offer you that you would want. Okay, but this person constantly has in their delusional mind that they can have you and that they can have anyone that they want. That, they just got to find out what your price is. They just got to find out what your weakness is. They just got to, be at the right place at the right time when there's an open window of opportunity for them to get in where they fit in. Okay. Again, this person is delusional and they're goofy and they're stupid. Okay. Yeah. So, dear one, what is the ultimate reason why? First of all, we know that you're a very beautiful, dynamic person. Okay, we've already established that. Okay, so this person, you caught their eye based on that thing. Okay, I'm hearing that thing, that thing, that thing. All right, come through, spirit. Yeah. So you guys got that it factor. Okay, you got that thing, right? So we already know that that's some of the qualities, some of the reasons in the first place why you caught this person's eye, this person that wanted to turn you into a hoe and your housewife material. But ultimately, dear one, it boiled down to what you represented, what your rejection of this person represented. Okay, this person, now they're operating out of sheer panic and anxiety because you're rejecting this person. Signals to them that they're not as all that as they thought they were. And number two, because this person, dear one, in some way, shape, or form puts you on a pedestal, now they have to live with the fact that you don't want nothing to do with them. And it's very, very hard for them to come to terms with something that they, someone that they feel very highly of just really thinks that they're a piece of shit. So they're having some type of ego battle. Okay, they're having some type of identity crisis by the fact that you have rejected them, and this is why they can't stop. This is why they can't seem to let it go or to leave you be. Okay, so it's like this person, they're going through a lot of different waves of worry and fear. Who am I? Am I not good enough? Now this person has always had low self-esteem, by the mere fact that they can't come to you and approach you one-on-one. They have to do all of this backdoor shit. Okay, so it's already a situation where it was like a lose-lose for this person, because number one, they knew from the jump that they were not on your level, and yet they kept trying to come at you anyway, but come at you sideways. Okay, and then number two, they have this ego which overrides into their delusion, thinking that they can have you, but it's just a strategy that they have to find in order to get to you. Okay, not understanding that just no means no. Not understanding, dear one, that you are off limits. Okay, I'm hearing from spirit, most of you guys, you're uninterested, you're unavailable, and you're unfuckwithable. Come through, spirit. This person, he needs to get that through his thick ass head. Okay, but it's like now it's like a matter of, before they go through a full ego death, a full ego shattering, a full, meltdown of an identity crisis of not knowing who they are, because they have put you, this person, on a pedestal that wants absolutely nothing to do with them. It's like now it's like they're battling to try to have some type of dominion, to try to prove to themselves and those around them that they can have you, because they have placed so much weight on their value, their worth, on obtaining you. Okay, it's very sick. Okay, they need to put that focus into, I don't know, getting a job, starting a business. Okay, a man in the business that pays them, because they're going to constantly come up and hit a brick wall. Okay, is what I'm hearing from spirit. And then also, dear one, the fact that you rejected this person, it became more of a game about his ego, more so than trying to prove that he was man enough or deserving enough to be with you. It became like this very diabolical, low vibrational game of I'm gonna wear you down just so that I can have you, just so that I can say, yeah, bitch, you kept holding out on me, and you kept rejecting me. And this reminds me, come through, spirit, I've watched a lot of TikTok videos and stuff like that, and some of them are very true. But one of the things that I definitely resonated with is that you have a lot of females saying that when you have a person that you have rejected back in the past, do not ever, 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 ever give that person a chance, because they will, beg and plead years and years and years. And then if you ever give them an opportunity, they'll have all of that years of pent up anger, frustration, and vendetta against you to really try to hurt your ass for rejecting them in the first place. So you could have said no to this person in 2019. Here it is 2026, and they done pined over you, stalked your social media, showed up in your DMs, found out where you live and work, dropped off roses, at your door, at the workplace, on your car, every goddamn day. They done spent all types of time, money, energy, sweat equity, trying to, plead and coerce and persuade you and beg you to give them a chance. And then when you finally go against your gut feeling, you go against your ancestors and say, hell no, don't do that. you go against spirit and say, I wouldn't advise against that. dear one. I really would go against that, okay? You go against your common sense, and hell no, that's a no-go. You bypass all of that, all of your protective barriers, okay, to protect your heart, your mind, your soul, your money, your credit, your home, your vehicle, do everything that you got, that you worked hard for, okay? Your credibility, your business, your reputation, your character, your integrity, hell, your medical status, come through, spirit. You bypass all of that. And you give this low vibrational, janky, raggedy ass motherfucker a chance. The very first date that you go on, he'd damn near try to kill your ass, okay? Because he done harbored up all of that rage of you rejecting him, okay? And he wants to go out of his way over and beyond. He got 4 or 5 plus years of pent up rage and anger that he wants to use and hurl against you to humble you. It's a very dangerous situation, okay? But this is the type of energy, come through, spirit. This is the type of energy, dear one, that this person has for you, okay? It's no longer about, oh, I really see that, you're a housewife material. You could really bring quality into my life. You can motivate me to be a better person. I have so much love and, attention to give to you. And I know that you can give it to me, and we could really, be a dynamic couple in this world. We could do great things together, okay? Nah, it's none of that. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna get you, bitch, for rejecting me. For all of the years that you made me feel less than. For all of the years that you told me no. And I put your ass on a pedestal. And, you hurt me. You broke my self-esteem. I had to go back and reevaluate who I am, okay? All of this and all of that. They done had all of this pent up, piled up anger, and the moment that you give them a chance, they're going to hurl and unleash all of that onto you. And oftentimes, unfortunately, these has ended up in fatal attraction type of situations where the person has been murdered, the person has been killed because of this a raggedy motherfucker that was hell-bent on trying to turn a housewife into a hoe. And when the person gave this mutt duck a chance, he just really just lost it, okay? He really just lost it. All of those years of pent-up anger of rejection, So this is what sociopaths do, okay? This is what psychopaths do, They try to turn a housewife into a hoe, okay? Rather than dealing with the holes that are at their discretion, the holes, there are a plethora of holes around them, okay? Holes to the left, holes to the doggone right, holes in the day, holes in the motherfucking night, come through, spirit. But they don't want those, because they feel, I already got that. They want a challenge, dear one. They want you. So, it becomes like this dangerous game of cat and mouse, this dangerous game of, this game of, power, this game of dominion, domination, submission. It's very, very sick, okay? And, this is for the mud ducks and the gutter rats that need to really just, tend to their own kind and leave people like you, dear one, okay? My collective, they need to leave you alone. But this person, dear one, they became more of a game because they saw you as someone that is very feminine, right? Very beautiful. You don't chase, you attract, okay? And then when you see that they're not on your level and they're not up to par, you don't chase, you replace, okay? But, something about your feminine energy, you just, attract a lot of people to you. You attract people of high value as well. People that want to take care of you. People that want to help you bring out the best in you. People that want to, collab with you, be in communion with you, and just let it be an equal reciprocity of give and take. I'm gonna give you this, you give me that, and we gonna work together, we gonna blend together, okay? You attract those type of people, and this person, dear one, they're very hateful of that. They're very resentful of that. So it's like they wanted to break you down. They don't like the fact that you come in a package physically, aesthetically, that they like. But all of your internal qualities and what you stand for, your values and goals, they don't like that. So it's like they wanted to strip it out of you. They wanted to, they want you to have a whole tendencies. They want you to have the package of being, sophisticated, beautiful. You look like Sade on the outside, but, you act like, what's that girl name? Red. You act like that red chick on the inside, just ratchet, okay? Just giving, basic bottom bitch energy, and that's not you, okay? No shade to the rapper, okay? Just this was just something that popped in my head, okay? Yeah. So this person, they want to break you down, okay? They want to strip you of all of your intrinsic qualities of what makes you this very beautiful, sophisticated lady, and they want to reduce you to being a ratchet, bottom basic skid row ass hoe, and that's a no go. So now it's like a game to this person. Okay, but I'm hearing from Spirit Dear One that you guys are protected. A lot of you guys have moved on away from the vicinity of this person, so they have no access to you. Okay, for those of you guys where this person is lurking online, that's all they can do, just watch. I'm hearing you can look, but your show can't touch. Okay, so you're safe, you're protected. A lot of you guys, Dear One, I'm hearing from Spirit, some of you guys are very quiet. Okay, I'm hearing popular loners. You guys got a lot going on. You have a very rich vibrant life, but you keep it on the low because you have a lot of eyes on you. You have a lot of peering, leering, monitoring spirits, evil eye on you. But a lot of you guys, some of you are even in harmonious relationships, but you don't blast it on the internet. You don't blast it on social media, okay? Because it's none of nobody else's business, okay? And some of you guys are even married, okay? And for others of you guys where you're single, I'm hearing from Spirit, you're single and you're mingling, okay? And you keep that on the low as well. It's nobody's business, okay? Yeah, and you having a good time. You hang out with your friends, you go to your spa dates, you go to the gym, you go to the your yoga classes, you go to Starbucks or your favorite, coffee restaurant or coffee shop and have your, your mocha kappa, kakalaka taka, cappuccino latte, and all of this and all of that, okay? So you guys are living your best life, okay? So you are protected. You are cloaked from this goddamn lunatic, this psychopath, Dear One, that was hell-bent on trying to, turn a hoe into a housewife, or shall I say turn a housewife into a hoe, okay? And he lost you. He lost a good one, okay? This particular fumble that he did, he will never recover from. He will have to die on the hill with the mistake that he made when he came at you the wrong way, okay? And that, Dear One, is the T for you guys, okay? So I'm gonna give you guys some signs, yeah, and then I'm gonna turn it loose, okay? And hope that you guys enjoy the rest of your day, okay? You guys make sure to like, share, and subscribe, okay? Hype up the video, okay? Show your girl some love, okay? I want my lovers to be louder than the trolls, louder than the haters, okay? Because this is a channel for you guys, okay? My wisdom seekers, okay? AKA my collective, okay? Also want to let you guys know that personal readings, shall I say, are currently still available, okay? So if you guys would like to get a personal reading, all you have to do is email your girl at wisdomandsage@gmail.com. That's WIZDOM and sage@gmail.com. And then write personal reading in the subject line to get the easy 3-step process started. Also, guys, you can take advantage of the economy mini readings that I have available from as little as $15 to $44, okay? So yeah, also check out my website and peruse and browse what I'm offering in terms of the readings along with the prices, okay? And shout out to those of you guys who have been booking with your girl. It is much appreciated, okay? Also, thank you guys for your donations, okay? All right, so for those of you guys where this message most resonates, you or they, Dear One, could very well be a Pisces, Aries, Leo, Libra, Gemini, Capricorn, Sagittarius, and Taurus. Thank you, Spirit. I'm also hearing Virgo rising, Virgo moon, Sagittarius moon, Cancer rising, Cancer moon, and Leo moon. Thank you, Spirit. The number 12 came through. And the number 3, thank you, Spirit, could be a life path number, could also be an area code. 312, 321, 213, yada, yada, okay? Those numbers can mean something to someone. Could also mean the day the month that you were born, or the date that you were born, okay? All right, and so, Dear One, until next time, stay beautiful, stay blessed, and stay great. Peace.